What a difference a day makes. That's what my great-grandparents would have said about October 29th, 1929, a day known as Black Tuesday, when the stock market crashed and America was plunged into 10 years of Great Depression. What a difference a day makes. That's what my grandparents would have said about December 7th, 1941, when America was viciously attacked at Pearl Harbor and we entered World War II. What a difference a day makes. That's what my parents would have said about November 22nd, 1963, when President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas. And what a difference a day makes. That's what I would say about September the 11th, 2001, when terrorists attacked American soil and we entered into a horrible time of fear and anguish in our country. But what a difference a day makes. There is no difference like the difference that was made on the day in the first century when Jesus Christ rose from the grave. For it is the ministry, the motivation, and the message of the church. Jesus is alive. Dr. Harry Rimmer was a great Christian apologist who traveled the world and spoke and taught of the resurrection in universities all over the world. One day, Dr. Rimmer was at the University of Tel Aviv in Israel. He was talking about the resurrection. Suddenly, a 19-year-old Muslim student stood up and said, "Dr. Rimmer, I've done my research. The Romans crucified 30,000 Jews at the time of Jesus Christ. What makes his crucifixion and death so different?" Dr. Rimmer smiled and said, "Well, you tell me the name of one of the other 29,999 who were crucified." And of course, the Muslim said, "I don't know any of those names." And Dr. Rimmer said, "That's what makes his different. For Jesus is the only one that was crucified and rose from the grave." It is Easter, the day that made the difference in Christianity. I love the story of Joseph in the Old Testament. Joseph is a type of Christ, and his story is magnificent. I think about that when I think about the resurrection of Christ. You remember the story of Joseph? In the 39th chapter of the book of Genesis, his brothers brutally attacked him, put him in a pit through their jealousy, and sold him into slavery. You know the story. Through deception and difficult times, he ended up in prison. But old Joseph went from the prison to the pit house, and he became governor of Egypt. God had placed him there by his sovereign will because Egypt and Israel entered into a terrible time of famine. And Joseph was the man in charge of doling out the food. When his brothers came looking for food, Joseph revealed himself to them and said, "I want you to bring my father here." Of course, they rejoiced. He forgave them. He was going to bring the father. They were going to bring the father there to be reunited with the son. And I love the response of the brothers when they told Jacob, the daddy, about Joseph. The Bible said, and they told him, saying, "Joseph is yet alive, and he is governor over all the land of Egypt." Jacob's heart stood still because he did not believe them. Then he did believe. They convinced him. Finally, he said, "I'm going to go see my son because he's still alive." When you read that, you think about the resurrection of Christ. I've got good news. Christ is not dead. He is yet alive. And I believe it. I believe in the resurrection. I pray that you'll have a wonderful Easter with your family. I will be at the Monumental Baptist Church in Petersburg, Virginia, starting a revival meeting on Sunday morning. But I pray that you will be blessed. You'll enjoy your loved ones. Have a blessed Easter. What a difference a day makes. I want to thank you for all the wonderful help and support you give our ministry. Some of you are regular supporters. And can I tell you how much it helps us? It really does. I can't preach 52 weeks a year, and it does help us during those times that love offerings do not meet the need of our ministry and support our missionaries and our office staff and all the things we must do. But I want to encourage you to give to our student camp. We're starting student camp. Jonathan, our associate evangelist, my son, is beginning our student camp again. Power Life is starting again this summer, and we could certainly use your support. If you would like to help that ministry, you can designate that. You can send a love gift to our ministry and designate it Power Life. The check can say Power Life in care of Rick Coram Ministries. But you pray for those great days. Maybe you'd like to sponsor or send a student on scholarship or help pave the way of some student that can't afford it, or just to help us meet we stopped Power Life and now we're starting it again. And there may be some shortfall in some areas, and you can help us. If God lays it on your heart, would you help us this summer? We have over 400 attending this first Power Life camp that Jonathan is starting. And I pray that you'll bless us by blessing a student. I love you. I hope you have a blessed Easter. Remember, what a difference a day makes.